anybody else seen Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes.
No.
What do you think? I'm actually curious
it.
because
I liked it.
Really?
Yeah, it reminded me of a Goosebumps movie.
Really?
That's what it was. It was a movie that knew what its core audience was going to be.
Yeah.
So it had a little bit of psychedelic thriller to keep the adults interested, but it knew its audience was like the age range of 12 to 15. So they kept all the horror and stuff at that like Goosebumps level, but still added just enough to do the jump scares.
Yep. So I did like it. I mean, there were some things that were, the kind of like holes in it, but it was a fun movie. It wasn't meant to be like real serious. It was something there to just entertain, and I mean, it had some very good elements, I thought. And
Yeah,
it
what's
tied
funny
it up all in a knot.
is I used to watch Matt Pat's Game Theory all the time, and then it seemed like every other episode he did was Five Nights at Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm like, I'm just not interested. And so I got so sick of hearing more Five Nights at Freddy's. So I kind of tuned out of all that for a while. And then this movie comes out, and while I'm just scrolling through YouTube, I find, oh, Matt Pat was in the movie. Oh, cool. I was actually, as much as I was sick of him always doing Five Nights at Freddy's, if anybody deserved to land a role in the movie, it was him, because he beat Five Nights at Freddy's to death. And he knows all the lore. So they picked a good guy to actually, even though it was a small cameo, he knows the lore of the whole world he's in.
Actually, his cameo was kind of funny as hell. But
I heard he even said it's just a theory while he was on screen.
But that is right there what all these other people are forgetting. Eric July's caught on. He knows what his core audience is.
Oh,
And he has a
Nights at
passion for the
Freddy's-
characters.
Maji.
Exactly. Five
are
Nights
they
at
forgetting
Freddy's,
that?
they knew what their core audience was. And the theater I went to was not only packed, but everybody was having fun.
Maybe this is the turnaround. Like, well, there is a strike, so now we actually got like good writers going in there actually making stuff, right? This is one of the things that came out of it. Or they trusted the IP to the right people. But knowing the audience, Disney clearly knows their audience too, or the people that are writing it, they're targeting their certain audience, reflect their ideology, obviously.
Yeah. Andrew Campbell just pointed out my duh moment. He says, sounds like the TV show Sliders when I was talking about trying to find their way home back to the right reality.
Yep.
Oh,
And I'm like, oh yeah, duh. It is just like Sliders. In fact, I referenced Sliders in the first book when someone was trying to explain how it works. Duh.
Nothing new under the sun.
Yep. Tim Allen says something.
Yeah, something. Say something.
Yeah, he was probably. Oh, that was during our awkward pause. If anyone's up for another awkward pause, let me know. I'm really good at them. Kahuna says, "Hey, I was getting in the shower before I called, but that's not why I was wet. LOL." I'll let you guys sort that one out.
Did I not?
No.
Did I not call it? I called it.
Not asking.
I called
But
it.
anyway,
Not asking.
Five Nights at Freddy's actually has a plot. The video game doesn't have a plot, but the movie, they somewhat came up with a decent plot.
Yeah, no. They brought in also a horror movie, a former horror movie star to add to it.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that played the dad.
From Scream?
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was him.
that was him.
Wow.
I gotta go back and watch.
Tim Allen says the writer's strike is over. The actor's strike is still going, I think.
Yay.
Oh yeah, did
Well,
I
one of the writers was
Good time
one.
to break in.
One of the writers credited was the guy who created the game, so he had a little bit of say on how that went. And the way
That's
they
good.
left it, it could either settle as one solid movie or it could go on to another one. They left it that it could do either or, and you'd be perfectly fine with.
That's how I try and end all my books, just in case I go, I don't want to.
Well, I ended my first book thinking that was the end, and well, I was really freaking wrong on that one. 100,000 words later.
Story writes itself.